is the one actually who told me, come I show you now. Zile vitu tuligundua huko Mombasa. Ndio hizi. So he claimed, hiyo uteo sasa hizo vitu zimewekwa ndani. There were many things. Hizo vitambaa za red zimefungwa, makucha zimekatwa, mashilingi and then a bottle. I remember there was a time we were traveling and we were going to check the house that we were building now. Just few months before ilikuwa inafanywa finishings. Before we went for the housewarming. Tulikuwa tumeenda kuangalia vile nyumba iko. Then I'm seated kwa gari at the co-driver's seat. I'm holding my daughter. My son is seated at the back with the house help and the niece. Then this guy tells me, mzee anasema ushikilie mtoto vizuri. You know, I'm holding, ukikaa kwa gari the way you holding a child. Anasema huyo mtoto umeshika vibaya. Tukivuka bump anaweza hit. Anaweza hit gari huko kwa dashboard. You know, I received a call from this man. And he told me that now I'm going to take away these kids and you'll never see them. And I'll make sure that you'll never come close them. So your time, things were so bad. I was not even talking to my parents. I was not talking to my sister. I was not talking to my brother. I was totally brainwashed. They had no idea of what I was going through. I know this is a surprise, but I was going through hell. But I couldn't talk to any of you because of the warnings that I had been given. Mom and Dad, sis and my bro, you had no idea what happened to me within those 2 years that we were not in touch. You have no idea what happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MK Show with your host, me.How. Last time, we left at the part where Naomi was telling us what's the kind of photos aliona. So we will jump right in and hear the story. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Be rare. Yes. Sasa umeingia kwa simu ama amekuonyesha?
Amenionyesha. Yeye mwenyewe. Me, I had no idea kuna picha alipiga. He's the one actually who told me, come I show you now. Zile vitu tuligundua huko Mombasa. Ndio hizi. So he claimed, hiyo uteo sasa hizo vitu zimewekwa ndani. There were many things. Hizo vitambaa za red zimefungwa, makucha zimekatwa, mashilingi and then a bottle. What captured my attention actually, ni hiyo chupa. It was a chupa, a transparent bottle. Ime kwa maalama na iko na some stuff ndani. So according to his explanation that he gave, ati hiyo chupa vile imelabeliwa because it had dates and years.
Na hizo dates zilikuwa za nini uliuliza?
Yes, he said waliambiwa wherever they were. Waliambiwa his late sister. He had a late sister. Apparently there was a certain witch doctor who was brought from I think Tanzania. Na alikuja akapanda vitu kama hizo kwa boma yao. So it was like a sacrifice. So tarehe fulani ikifika, hiyo date imelabeliwa kwa hiyo chupa, huyo mtu anakufa. Wamepangwa kulingana na familia yao vile inaenda. Na unaona huyo sister yake ndiye alikuwa first born. So she was the first one to die. She died. Okay?
Like literally
dead.
Specific date.
Now I don't know. I didn't inquire about that. I was in a state of shock at the same time nimechanganyikiwa because sijawahi ona kitu kama hiyo. So that is what he claimed. imelabeliwa kulingana na vile kwao wako.
Na sasa, did you ask the finer details of hizo dates ziko labeled? They represent like someone death or
yes,
an occasion.
Death dates. Somebody's death date, yes.
Death date ya mtu fulani.
Yes.
Lakini hazina majina.
Hazina majina.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so now I see the photos and I'm in shock and it tells me hizi vitu huyo mtu ametoa sasa. Ati nao
alizitoa.
Ati sasa hizo vitu ziko kwa uteo ndo zilikuwa zimepandwa kwao. Alizitoa spiritually. I don't know how. That bit I don't know how that is possible. Sijui. So he claimed hizo vitu ndo zilikuwa zimepandwa kwao. Hizo makucha, machupa zimeleboliwa vile watakufa. And the bottle was really dirty. Uchawi ni mchafu sana. I wonder how people survive there. Yeah, so he claimed walikuwa wameenda kurescue family yao isiishe. Sasa si unaona sister yao alikufa.
Na hiyo time walikuwa wameenda, like the elder sister alikuwa amekufa already?
No, actually the sister died long time ago.
Okay.
Mi hata sikumpata, but she had a kid. She had a kid, a niece. Actually huyo niece ni mimi nilikuwa namlea. When I got married to the family, we took the niece in to live with us. So I was her mother. I was raising a niece.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what was happening at that point? Like, what was going through your mind?
You know, number one, I'm brainwashed. Ni kama sijielewi vizuri na niko na fear.
Yeah.
Kumbuka huyo mtu alinipatia warning. Na mimi nimewitness him talking to things. In fact, there's a time I suspected him cheating, and when I questioned him, he would say, mzee ako hapa. Actually, huyo jamaa angeni convinced there's nothing he's doing. In fact, mzee hata ako hapa kwa hii gari amekaa hapo kiti ya nyuma, then mimi naogopa, I'll freak out and leave the story. Na iwachia hapo.
Wow. That sounds
I know.
It's laughable, but at the same time it's chilling. Like, hizo ndi vitu mimi usikia personally. Yeah. Wow. And wewe any first hand. So what happened when you finished to see the photos? Did you take any step? Uliambia mtu? Did you pray? I mean, you're saved and you love Jesus at this point. What are you going to? What did you do?
Actually, I forgot to mention the day this man called me on phone. Akaniuliza, mbona wewe unaombanga hivyo? Somehow my prayer life began going down.
Okay.
And then again, you know, when you're going through some of these challenges, you need support system ya watu wa kusaidia kuomba. But in my case, I was praying all alone. Sikukuwa na support system because of fear and the threats that nilikuwa nimepewa. I couldn't dare tell anybody. So I was solo praying on my own. Yeah. So yes, I continued praying, but nilikuwa na feel, you know, there's a way you pray and you feel a breakthrough.
Yes.
But I was feeling like there's a certain block, there's a covering that is preventing me from from going high in prayer. So yes, I prayed, but still nilikuwa na feel there's something bado. So mimi amenionyesha picha, nimeogopa na sijaambia mtu. And now everything got worse. Now talking to these ghosts, now it was like
more frequent.
Yeah, it was like now a normal thing. I remember there's a time we were traveling and we were going to check the house that we were building now. Just few months before ilikuwa inafanywa finishings. Before we went for the housewarming. Tulikuwa tumeenda kuangalia vile nyumba iko. Then I'm seated kwa gari at the co-driver's seat. I'm holding my daughter. My son is seated at the back with the house help and the niece. Then this guy tells me, mzee anasema ushikilie mtoto vizuri. You know, I'm holding, ukikaa kwa gari the way you're holding a child. anasema huyo mtoto umeshika vibaya, tukivuka bump anaweza hit anaweza hit gari huko kwa dashboard, you know. And I'm like, you know, when I hear such, naogopa sasa hata zaidi. So mi nashika tu mtoto. So now this mzee thing was like a weapon to him. And as if that was not enough, kwa hiyo iPad yake
really is a weapon ama actually ni kitu ilikuwa?
Sasa ni kitu ilikuwa, lakini yeye anaitumia kunimaliza, like kunimaliza nguvu kabisa. You know, the moment he mentions it, I'll freak out. Naogopa tu. So mi nashikilia mtoto vizuri na hiyo iko kuwa enough. Now on his iPad, the cover photo hapo, he changed to his so-called biological dad of a ghost. In fact, he went online. I will not mention his late dad because it's someone you can find if you Google. He went online, Googled, got a photo of the so-called biological dad who died, and if he put it as a screen saver. So ukishika iPad yake hivi, the first thing you will see is that photo of that man. So nikamuuliza, like, you mean this is your now dad? Umeweka hadi kwa iPad? Anasema yeah. Alisema awekwe hapo. He has to be there. And now this man and the mother became like so possessed of this ghost. They were so excited of hii ghost vile inawaongelesha, inawapa directives. And we would sit with this man and he would prophesy some things that will happen in future. Na zingekuja zihappen. Yani he would foresee some things, not everything but some things. Hakuna kitu huyu mtu ashainiambia in the name of prophecy haikukuja kupasa.
Can you relate this with what has been happening? Like, have you watched this movie that Apostle Arome has been featured?
Yes. It's called
It's a Prophet Suddenly.
Prophet Suddenly, yes.
That's your story?
Yes, I've watched. It's similar to that actually.
So this time you're done with you're seeing the photos and amekwambia kenye waliona, kenye kilitolewa and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what followed?
Sasa housewarming is coming up. Tumeenda, nyumba imemalizwa finishing and now we are getting ready for housewarming. That time
Sasa mmeshatoka Nairobi at this point.
Sasa housewarming ilikuwa ifanywe mahali huko tulikuwa tumejenga. The house is still there, the home is still there. Don't go looking for it, but it's there. I believe that's where he lives till today. So yeah, tumeprepare kwenda housewarming. Tumenunua mbuzi, tumenunua just the normal things for celebration. Remember, in my life, when I was married to that guy, I had never seen him drunk. I had no idea he drinks alcohol. Let me be specific. I had never seen him drunk, and I had no idea he drinks. So, siku ya kwenda housewarming ikafika, we go. But my parents were not invited for the housewarming. Why? Because that time we were not in good terms. Let me say that. Something happened and we had a major disagreement. This man and my dad walibishana sana kwa simu for a very long time, like wakakosana. So my parents were not invited for the housewarming. So we just invited his family, his mom, his stepdad, and his nephews and nieces.
Did they have an idea?
Brother and few friends.
His family, did they have an idea what was going on?
The mother was 100% aware.
Okay.
And his brother.
Okay.
There's also a brother who, it's like they worked hand in hand. Those ones were aware. But the other two brothers, They had no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, so we go for the housewarming. So definitely we had to go a day before. Juu ya kujipanga, you know, the cooking, the what, yeah. So we go there a day before. When we got there, to my surprise, in our bedroom, uko juu kwa wardrobe, the guy had done shopping pombe. If I forget the rest, I remember there was a big bottle of Amarula and several whiskeys zimepangwa hapo juu, uko juu kwa wardrobe ya bedroom. Nikamuuliza, kwani siku hizi unakunywa pombe? Akaniambia hapana, hizi ni vitu za mzee. Nikamuuliza, hizi ni vitu za mzee zote? Like they were not, some of the bottles they were not full, zingine zilikuwa nusu. Wakati tulianza kujenga hii nyumba, the place where he is working or he was working, he got a temporary transfer, like ukapata na work alongside Mombasa, Makindu, hiyo highway. So we figured out it would be easier since tunajenga nyumba, we construct something akue close na hapo. Kwanza alikaa kwa rental houses huko for him to monitor the construction ya nyumba ikiendelea. So after tuliroof nyumba, he moved to the house. So nyumba ilikuwa inamaliziwa akiwa ndani. Kumbe that time alianza ulevi na mimi sijui. So now I'm going home and discovering. Kujua hizi drinks zilikuwa nusu. Most of them were half. I think one bottle ndo ilikuwa ijafunguliwa. So he tells me hizi vitu ni za mzee. Mzee ni huyo ghost anaongea na yeye. So at night, remember this is a night before the housewarming is tomorrow. At night, wakati watoto wameenda kulala, he picks a bottle of the whiskey and goes to the sitting room. Sasa me, I'm peeping. I pretend to have gone to sleep. But I'm curious, what is my husband seated doing there alone? Kila mtu ameenda kulala. I thought tumeomba maombi kila mtu alale. But him, he will come, pick a bottle and go to the sitting room and put a little on the bottle top. Then anamwaga chini, sijui alikuwa anamwaga akisema nini, I don't know. That one I was peeping through the door because where my bedroom was located na sitting, I could see what was happening. Nimejificha nyuma ya mlango. So he could pour, then akimaliza, anakunywa kadogo. So now the following day, the day of now the housewarming, wazazi wake wakakuja and the few people who we had invited came. Mbuzi imechinjwa. I didn't know wakati mbuzi ilikuwa inachinjwa, alisema hiyo blood wasiache ispill chini. Ilitegewa mahali kwa it was like a ball, like ikaekwa mahali hiyo blood. Me, I thought, I saw it in the kitchen later, but me nilikuwa nafikiria maybe ni a doggy, you know. We had two dogs. But now in the evening when everyone else left, because we took, nisi tulienda kudrop wazazi wake home. So when we came back, he now took that blood. After tumeomba normally, and hata tunaomba vizuri. Usiku vile we used to pray, tuende tukalale. Then he now takes that bowl of blood plus the whiskeys. Hizo whiskey ameficha huko juu. Akachanganya, he made a mixture of blood and whiskey. And now this time round, he steps out of the house. Ni usiku. That house, the way we had built it, we were using solar. Hatukukuwa tumeweka stima bado. So he steps out of the door. And then, you know, lighting ya solar is not so strong. Kuna end yenye itafika. So it would somewhere disappear kwa hiyo giza. And then, you know, ushago the way is. Alafu the place tulikuwa tumejenga ni kwa mashamba, ni katikati ya mashamba. Hiyo time hakukuwa kumedevelop. I went there and I saw now it's developed. So anapotelea huko kwa giza hivyo. Then it would stay and then come back after like 20-30 minutes later. with an empty bowl. Hiyo alienda nayo sijui amepeleka wapi. He came back with empty bowl. So now sisi hizi vitu tunachungulia. Now when he stepped out with the bowl and that mixture, I'm in the house, kids wamelala with his niece. So we peeped through the window ya sitting room, trying to see what he's doing, because that was really, really strange. Mpaka the niece, I remember her telling me, auntie, hizi vitu Ango anafanya siku hizi mimi simuelewi. So he disappears and comes back with an empty bowl. So namuuliza, hiyo kitu umepeleka wapi?
So you woke up ama?
Sijalala. Sasa utalala na mtu ametoka na bakuli imejaa damu na amechanganya na pombe. Si hata wewe utakuwa curious, kwani inapelekwa wapi? Na ni usiku.
Yeah.
Akaniambia, hiyo ni mali ya mzee. Mzee akiitisha vitu zake anapewa. That is when now I realized enyewe hapa I'm dealing with something so strange, like it's a strange spirit, strange being yenye sijui. Because to me now that was like it's like a sacrifice or something. Hizi vitu mimi nilikuwa nazisikia, and I used to watch these things in Nigerian movies. So and is so okay with it. Ako tu sawa, akishamaliza shughuli zake huko ako tu sawa. So he comes back to the house and we go to bed and we sleep and everything to him is normal. But mimi sina peace, niko na uoga, nimeogopa yangu yote. So now the following day, after sasa amefanya hizo vituko, the following day, his nephew comes. He had a big nephew, alikuwa amemaliza form 4 hata. So the nephew tells me, auntie, mi kuna kitu nataka kukuambia. Ango amekuwa akifanya hapa. Nephew, sometimes he used to come home to help hizo makazi za huko.
Okay.
So ananiambia, there is something I've been wanting to tell you. Ango anafanya na mimi naona si vizuri. Kamwambia, okay, niambie. Akaniambia, Ango amekuwa akileta mumama hapa. Like, yeah, mumama. A true definition of mumama. If you saw my last year's story, that is the mumama that was being taken home. The mumama that is featuring on that photos, those clips that DCI posted, that is the mumama I'm talking about. Yeah, so the nephew tells me, kuna mumama amekuwa akiletwa hapa na Ngo, na anakuja wanakaa hapa, na unaona hizo chupa ulipata huko za pombe wanakunyonga na yeye. Wow, so definitely as a jealous couple, you'll get jealous, you'll get angry. On the other hand, it's like you want to protect this innocent nephew, but you don't know how, because yeye ndiye amekuwa kwa ground. Definitely ukiuliza, na hakuna neighborhood wanamjua. Definitely ni yeye.
Yeah.
So I ask this man, like, huyo mumama umekuwa ukileta ni nani? I heard there's a mama you bring here. Oh, is she? He gave me a very funny story. In fact, aliniambia, because whenever we had our issues, we used to avoid arguing in the house because of the kids. We would take a drive, twende, we park somewhere, we quarrel, and we come back when we are now sober. So he tells me, ingia hapa twende. So we get into the car. He drives to the nearest, actually it's not even nearest, the second nearest town. Then he parks his car somewhere on a petrol station, and now he tells me, huyo mama uliambiwa anakuja. Huyo hata ni girlfriend ya my former boss. Then my question was, then if it's your former boss's girlfriend, what is she doing in our home? This is a home that it's newly built. Kumbe we have been struggling to build her home. You are bringing wamamas in the home. Akaniambia, he gave me a story that was not making sense. Akaniambia, it's a girlfriend wa mdosi wake, and now kuna contract fulani alikuwa amempatia ya hapo Athi River. And that's where he got his nephew a job. And yes, that lady came there one day just to check the house. You know, it's like amekubali lakini kidogo.
So and it's one day, it's one
time. Sasa ndio nisiendelea na maswali. He tells me, by the way, mzee ako hapo nyuma yako. Remember, I'm seated at the co-driver's seat. Then ananiambia mzee amekaa hapo nyuma yako.
Nyuma yako ukiuliza maswali.
So in other words,
like you're not supposed to be asking those questions.
Yes.
Asking. In short.
Yeah. So he tells me, pole siku kuambia that lady came to check how we are building. Sorry, I didn't tell you. So ameniambia mzee ako hapo nyuma. So ilibidi nikate hiyo story. And that's how hiyo story iliisha hivyo. Niliogopa and I never followed up. I never asked again. But definitely when you're betrayed, you always feel betrayed. Your trust, you know, inaishanga, inapungua tu, inaenda ikienda, ikishuka. So I never asked.
So your story kaisha hivyo. Now plus the other one.
Plus hizo vituko zingine za blood and...
You never said nothing to your parents?
No.
This time.
Nitasema aje. Kwanza hiyo time, things were so bad. I was not even talking to my parents. I was not talking to my sister. I was not talking to my brother. I was totally brainwashed and I was made to see how my dad is bad. And now this man tells me, all of a sudden ananiambia, mzee wako, now mzee wangu is my dad. Mzee wako, sijui nitamua nini. I'm like, why?
Okay.
Ananiambia, he's appearing to me on the road. Anytime I'm driving, coming back, he's appearing. Mbele yangu. Mi sielewi. You know, huyo mtu ni kama sasa story ananiambia hata zieleweki, you know. Kwanza amekuwa akiongea na ghost. Now he claims to be my dad is appearing when he's driving on the road. Mpaka ati wanasumbuana mpaka sometimes he parks the car. Mpaka he had a particular spot. Hapa Mombasa Road. Somewhere karibu na inaitwa Golden ilijengwa hapa, there's a nini ya mafuta iko inaitwa Golden something. Somewhere along Mombasa Road before you get to Manzoni Lounge hapo Machakos Junction, before you get to there. He had a spot. Mpaka he showed me where he could go park his car and pour those drinks to his muzae and water. It was like ilikuwa spot yake. So he claimed anytime my dad appears to him, now it's my dad appearing to him. Alikuwa anaenda anapaka hapo kwanza anamwaga hizo whatever drinks to his muzae. Then now he will be sober to drive again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So now this whole story is happening, is unfolding.
Yeah.
You're still saved.
I'm still saved.
Now the boy is grown. The girl is grown.
They are grown.
They're actually to school. Now you guys are still in Nairobi or?
We're in Nairobi. That's actually now 2016 December, because that's when we did our housewarming. So tumevuka mwaka sasa. Hizi vituko zilikuwa zinaendelea tukiwa huko hiyo break holiday. So now we come back to the city. After now New Year, celebrating the New Year. Yeah, now it's 2017 January. So we come back to the city and the more I keep on living with this man, the more now I'm hearing more stories of him and other women out here. And these women are fighting over him actually. Na ni wamama wengine ni wazee. The age of that lady that was posted by DCI.
Okay.
Age women of that category. Some, others a bit younger. So I kept hearing stories from left, right and center and everything was just overwhelming. And nikimuuliza analeta story ya mzee. So we never solve anything because mzee is there.
Mzee is...
So I nearly gave up on asking about his women. So I stopped asking. But Now,
at this point, are you thinking of leaving? What are you thinking?
Siwezi leave, nitauawa. Ni leave niende nikaseme nje.
Okay.
I couldn't even leave.
Of course.
So now, it begins now new threats. Ananiambia, you should now start thinking of how you live your life, because you have to quit your job. Na kama uta quit job, I'm going to take away these children and you will figure out your life and you'll never see them again.
Sasa umeambiwa hivyo?
Sasa nimeambiwa hivyo.
Wow, okay.
Now, I'm thinking, quitting my job, no, not at this point. Sayo naambiwa ni quit job. I've finished my diploma in business management at St. Paul's.
Yeah.
I've started my degree. Kwanza ndo nilikuwa nimelipa tu fee hivi. And remember, I was taking loans in a circle to finance my education. So now someone is telling me to quit your job. Mi niko hapa, I'm planning my life. And now is bringing now an issue of taking away the kids. I'm thinking, these kids, you're saying you're taking them away, you never even have time to spend with them. And the little time that guy could get, maybe it's a day in 2 weeks or a day after maybe a month or something, because the nature of his job could not allow him to be around. The nature of his job and the nature of his women, the line of women that he had. So I couldn't, that thing really, really depressed me. You know, it's a series of things that are happening. I'm incubating those things. I can't open up to anybody because I'm in fear.
Yeah.
So slowly, I start sinking into depression.
Depression, yeah, of course, yeah. Can imagine.
I could go to my workplace and sit, and I'll just break down. I'll cry. And I could start chasing men. Like, even if a man says hi, it's a hi. And if you start other stories, I'm like, get out of my face, you know. It changed my personality. And everyone around me that time noted that I changed. In fact, even the HR back then, she noted that I've changed. And I was so sunk in thoughts. And she tried to ask what was happening. And because of the threats, I couldn't tell her anything. So I'm sinking into depression slowly. The more I'm sinking into depression, is the more this man is issuing threats of how he's going to take away these kids. Then one day he comes home and he tells me, I need a woman in my life mwenye hata nikijikuta niko mgonjwa, in case nijikute niko na maybe HIV, I don't know, maybe if I found myself positive with HIV, he will tell me, ama nikute mahali niko na another woman, ataniambia mume wangu amka twende. You know, I need a woman who will support. In other words, he insinuated he needs someone who will support his dirty thing that he's doing. So, in fact, kwanza vile alimention ati a woman mwenye hata akijikuta ameshikwa na ukimwi, atamsupport. They will just, you know, push on with life. That really caught my attention. Mpaka I went for an HIV test because I didn't know where that came from. Clearly, it meant something. It didn't come from nowhere.
Yeah, it meant something.
It meant something. Yeah, so tukavurutana, and then sometime, hiyo time ikiendelea between January and April, there were some guys who were sent to our house now in Nairobi.
From where?
From Machakos. Two young men. I was at work with a letter. This now I was told by somebody, because I never had a chance to get the letter. That letter was summoning this man to go to some place in Machakos to report to a certain chief in Machakos. And when I tried to follow up to find the details. The story that I heard was that this man had impregnated a woman and a daughter somewhere in Machakos. Okay, so he had been summoned to go to the chief. I don't know more about that story, about the pregnancy of the mother and daughter. I know just up to there. I don't know if he went. I don't know if they sorted out. And if they did, I don't know how they did it. How they sorted it out, I don't know. I don't know details about that story. So yeah, those boys came and they were sent. So when they came to the house and the person they found in the house, I don't want to mention her name. There were 2 people in my house that day. 2 ladies. I don't want to mention their name. They called now my husband and told him, there are 2 gentlemen here with a letter. Wamesema hii barua imetumwa iletewe wewe na isipewe mtu mwingine. So he was away. He told them, tell those guys to go and drop the letter hapo kwa gate, kwa soja huyo au masoja wa gate. We were living in an estate. So walienda waka drop the letter hapo. So I never now followed to know. Hiyo story niliachana nayo because I was already tired of dealing with infidelity. So now depression sank.
You're still working?
I'm still working.
HR is concerned.
HR is concerned. Everyone is concerned, but I can't say even a word.
Yeah. So at this point, where is mom? Where is dad? Are they coming to visit? Are you visiting?
No. There's no communication between me and any member of my family. What this man did was he disconnected me from my family completely so that he can do his dirty work. I was not talking to my mother for over 2 years. I wasn't talking to my dad. My sister, my brother, I couldn't even talk to any of them. They had no idea of what I was going through. I know this is a surprise, but I was going through hell. But I couldn't talk to any of you because of the warnings that I had been given. Yeah, so I'm disconnected from my family completely. I couldn't say anything.
Sorry for that.
Mom and dad, sis and my bro, you had no idea what happened to me within those 2 years that we were not in touch. You have no idea what happened. Yeah, so I'm not talking to anybody in my family. And this man and his mother, they are so much together. And his brother, there's one brother of his. They were together. The 3 of them, they were working together. So on the 29th of May, 2017, I received a call from this man. And he told me that now I'm going to take away these kids and you'll never see them. And I'll make sure that you'll never come close them. That time my daughter was 4 years and my son was 6 years. I couldn't even work. I couldn't even work properly. Because I had seen this man do things. In fact, I forgot to mention, even house helps in the house. there's a specific house help I look for. Please, this one I'll mention the name. Diana. Diana, I don't know where you went to. If you happen to see this clip, please contact me. I really want to talk to you and know what happened. I'm specific about this particular girl because Diana was an orphan. I'm concerned. Diana was an orphan. Thank you. Who came to my house very needy. But she met a beast in my house. Without my knowledge, I didn't know. What happened with Diana? One day, I went to work. My kids were in school. That time, my son was in school and my daughter had just enrolled in school. And I remember so well because my son's birthday was approaching. And I had left some money for Diana to go and do a cake board booking. And I had bought Diana a phone. But this particular day, when I came back home, actually a neighbor called me. She was a family friend. She called me and she told me, Naomi, your house help is not in the house. And your children have come from school and the house is locked. So I am with them. I've taken them. When you come home, just come at my place and get them. In the meantime, we are doing homework and I've given them something to eat. It was just like a normal working day for me, and I left everything as normal. I had no idea. Diana, I had no idea that you were being tormented by this man. I had no idea. So, when I received that call, I went to the HR and I requested for permission to go home. So I come home and Diana hatafungua hakubeba. Even the money that I had left for her to go and book the cake, she never carried the money. Diana left her clothes in my house. Diana didn't carry anything that was not hers. The only thing she left with was the phone that I had bought for her. So I go take my kids from my neighbor. And I get home and I try calling Diana. She picked up my call and she told me, Mimi, pole mimi nilitoka. Na najua sikutoka vizuri kwa sababu you are a good person. Aliniambia, Mama, so and so you are really a good person. But your husband amekuwa akinisumbua. Na mimi niliona singeweza kukufanyia kitu vibaya. Your husband sometimes pretends to be away, but he comes home to make advances on me. And me, today was too much and I had to run for my life and left. That's how I left. So nikamuliza Diana, can we meet? Can we at least meet nikupatie manguo? And she was in so much fear. I don't know what this man told her. I don't know. That's how Diana left. I made efforts. She wanted to return the phone, but I told her no. So the day we planned to meet with Diana, nimpatie manguo, she never showed up. So I don't know where Diana went to. Diana, I hope you're still alive. If you happen to see this clip, or if maybe you used to be my neighbor back those days, and you know this particular girl, I'm mentioning her name, Diana. Please, hook this girl up with me. I really need to talk to her. She was an orphan and she didn't deserve what happened. So yes, I could get some house helps, and wengine, they would just go. Some would give in to these months, advances, and everything was just too much. So now, on 29th of May, I'm told my kids will be taken away and everything, and I will never see them again. I remember that day I broke down when I was in the office, and the HR had to tell me to just go home. And when I'm fine, I can report back to work. So I go home. Of course, when I'm going home back to my kids, I will not show them that something is wrong. They're just little kids.
Yeah.
I will pretend everything is just fine. I will pretend to people around me that everything is fine. And that day I cooked for them, and we ate dinner and they went to bed. In fact, that day, I told them, today you're sleeping in my bedroom. So the house help and then the niece to this guy in the other bedroom, it was a 2-bedroom house. So we went to bed. I looked at those kids when they were sleeping and they were so innocent. And I'm here being told that they will be taken away and I will never see them again. I couldn't take it.
Remember, this story is long. Do not touch that dial. Keep listening, keep sharing, subscribe, and invite people.